The U.S. job market is going through one of the largest adjustments in history, and it is affecting all workers at every level.
Breaking moments ago, jobs growth slowed. After years of resilience, the U.S. job market looks increasingly fragile.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics reduced its employment growth figures by more than 900,000 jobs.
This may be the biggest revision ever, Sarah. Minus 911,000.
Likewise, the official unemployment rate stands at 4.3%, one of the highest rates in recent years.
The data shows unemployment rose to its highest level in nearly 4 years, 4.3%.
This means that there are currently a chilling 7.4 million Americans unemployed and looking for work.
We learned this morning that job growth in the past 3 months has all but ended.
All of this has led several experts to suggest that the labor market is in a critical moment. So, why is the job market on the brink of collapse? One of the main reasons why economists see a possible collapse of the labor market is the contradiction between corporate growth and employment deterioration. While S&P companies reported profit margins of 13% in the third quarter of 2025, one of the highest levels recorded in decades, these same companies cut millions of jobs this year. A report showed that layoff announcements totaled 1.1 million between January and October, representing an increase of 65% compared to 2024.
More than 1 million American jobs have been cut this year, according to a new report released on Thursday, November 6th. This places 2025 among the worst years for job losses in decades.
Likewise, the Dow Jones surpassed 47,000 points for the first time in history. This highlights a labor market that seemed solid, but was actually filled with inflated projections and inconsistent expectations. This phenomenon has been described by economists as a jobless boom, in which companies increase profits not through traditional expansion, but through payroll reduction. The adoption of artificial intelligence plays a central role in this scenario. During the first half of 2025, 78,000 tech jobs directly linked to automation were lost, which amounts to approximately 500 people losing their jobs daily due to AI. But these cuts are not limited to tech companies. Sectors such as finance, marketing, insurance, and media are experiencing equally strong impacts.
On Wall Street, markets at record highs as excitement over artificial intelligence drives big-time money into stocks. But that same technology may also be transforming the American workforce.
The World Economic Forum projects that 92 million jobs will be displaced by AI by 2030, while 170 million new roles related to green technology, digital infrastructure, and AI development will be created. Although the global balance represents a net increase of 78 million jobs, there is a critical timing mismatch. The jobs disappearing today do not match the skills of current workers, and the emerging opportunities require advanced training. McKinsey estimates that between 12 and 14% of American workers will need to change occupations entirely by 2030, a structural transition that, in other historical periods, would have taken generations. The problem is that this transition is occurring in a context where workers face increasingly high barriers to acquiring new skills. For example, the cost of education has skyrocketed, with the class of 2025 graduates leaving school with an average debt of $39,000, according to the Federal Reserve. Meanwhile, entry-level wages are stagnating or even declining when adjusted for inflation.
You can see the impact of inflation most clearly these days at the grocery store, but you can also see it at food banks, where people who never dreamed they'd need it are turning for help.
This is causing a progressive disappearance of the base of the labor pyramid, a phenomenon known as the collapse of the entry level. Research indicates that 61% of full-time jobs labeled as entry level now require 2 to 3 years of prior experience. This creates an impossible cycle. Positions that once allowed someone to start a career have now become inaccessible roles for those who specifically need experience. This generates an extreme bottleneck. Fewer people can enter the system, meaning fewer will be able to advance into managerial positions in the future. This loss of entry-level talent is already impacting sectors such as project management and cloud architecture. For example, LinkedIn reported an increase of more than 30% in remote job postings for roles requiring 5 to 7 years of experience. That is experience that fewer and fewer workers can acquire in a market where initial opportunities are disappearing.
42% of employees felt they were excluded from job opportunities due to a lack of formal qualifications or experience.
On the contrary, sectors such as healthcare and software show sustained growth. For example, job openings in the healthcare sector are projected to grow by 11.5% and software development by 25% over the next decade. The situation is worsened by the decline in purchasing power. The inflation rate of 3% recorded in September 2025 seems moderate, but does not reflect the real increase in the cost of living in essential areas such as housing. The National Association of Realtors reports that 79% of workers cannot afford a home at the current median price, meaning that even with stable employment, the middle class is rapidly eroding. Rent consumes between 35 and 50% of the average income in large metropolitan areas, an unsustainable percentage compared to the historically recommended standard of 30%.
Looking for a holiday side hustle, you are definitely not alone. New data shows the number of Americans working 2 or more jobs has reached its highest level since the pandemic began.
This is reflected in the number of people with more than one job, which reached 8.4 million in 2025, the highest level in the last 2 decades. All this while, the average work week has extended to 46.7 hours in service sectors, with real wages that have not increased since 2019. The labor market, traditionally cyclical, seems to have entered a structurally different phase where stability is no longer the norm. The common experience of many workers is applying to hundreds of jobs without receiving a response, even when they have college degrees, certifications, and prior experience.
Job postings have declined by 15%, while the number of applications has increased by 30%.
According to studies by Harvard Business Review, filtering algorithms, which automate between 75 and 90% of the initial selection process, eliminate applications before a human can review them. This intensifies the feeling that the hiring process has become inaccessible, impersonal, and deeply competitive. The mismatch between job openings and applicants is also evident among young people. The class of 2025 faces the worst hiring rate in the past 15 years, with an 18% drop in internship offers and programs for new professionals. This sector used to function as a natural bridge between education and a professional career, but it is now reduced due to budget cuts and the automation of tasks previously performed by interns or assistants.
I haven't had enough experience, and that's of course challenging because I can't get any experience without a job.
But the crisis does not only affect those entering the market. Mid-career professionals are also facing unusual stagnation. With fewer workers rising from lower levels, many companies choose to hire external experts instead of promoting internal talent, disrupting traditional career paths. The penetration of the gig economy also contributes to this fragmentation. In 2025, around 39% of U.S. workers earned income at least partially through independent platforms, according to Gallup. However, these jobs lack benefits, social security contributions, and long-term stability. This makes it difficult for workers to sustain a fully independent standard of living with housing, healthcare, and retirement savings. The result is a congested market, with highly qualified professionals competing for a decreasing number of stable roles. Meanwhile, companies are betting on more flexible and cost-efficient structures, such as contractors, freelancers, and micro-teams supported by artificial intelligence.
At Economy Media, your opinion matters to us. Subscribe and let us know what you think in the comments below.